Hello YouTube, welcome to day 3 of Hell Week, where we play all the Diablos all the way up until Halloween. Whoa, what's going on? Oh, cutscene. Anyway, today we're playing Diablo 3, and yes, I'm still dressed like a jackass.
At the end of days,
because chat demanded it.
the first sign shall appear.
Maybe you could have had a say in this. Alright, look, I get it. Maybe you could have had a say in this had you been here live. But it's okay, because you're watching this now, wherever you are in the timeline. So yeah, let's get into this, huh? Diablo Trace. The hat will come off at some point because it is cutting circulation to my head. And are you skipping the intro cutscenes? No, actually. So we're actually gonna watch it this time. I just had to do my intro. So intro's done. Welcome to the stream. This is Diablo 3.
And at the end of days, the first sign shall appear in the heavens. Justice shall fall upon the world of men. The armies of light and shadow will clash across the fields of eternity. Are you all right, my girl?
It was nothing, Uncle. Just a bad dream. We should be getting you home.
But there's still work to be done. If these translations are correct, the powers
Give
of
YouTube a minute to
hell
load.
could already be on the move. The world must be told of the coming darkness. You do believe me, don't you, Leah? It has begun.
Leave it, Uncle! It's not important!
Get out of there. Oh no! Uncle. How's the audio, by the way? Do I need to turn it up? Was that a good metric for how loud the game should be? Yes, I accept whatever this is. Cool. Adjust the edges. Accept. Adjust the gamma. Alright, I think that's good. Alright, Goob. Don't when you try that hard.
And at the end of days,
You're trying too hard, man. Alright, I think this is the same cutscene again. New on Nintendo Switch. Adventure mode unlocked. Introducing local communication. Supported feature Amiibo. And become the Demon King Ganondorf. New in patch 2.6. Alright, I don't care. Cool. All right, we're jumping right in. How do I play as Ganondorf? Can that be an option? Oh, you can also be a female. Ah. Witch doctor. Scan those motherfuckers right now. Shoot, man. Seasonal, hardcore, normal, hero. Oh, I think we're gonna do normal. Yeah. So, okay. How many do you have still? I have a few. So here's the question. I could maintain the, like, so far in Diablo 1 and 2, I played the sort of like archer build. They didn't have rogue in 2, and I didn't play the assassin. I instead played the Amazon, which I think they intended for you to use like melee spears, but then I switched to a bow. In this game, the demon hunter would be the closest to, I guess, the rogue from Diablo 1, but not really, because it has a crossbow. Primary attribute, dexterity, ranged weaponry, and shadow manipulation make this vengeful hero an elusive stalker of demons. The demon hunter uses a variety of traps and escape skills to evade the grasp of foes. The demon hunter's attack and tactical skills are powered by the dual force of hatred and discipline. Hatred is rapidly regenerated, but discipline is slowly recovered. Then there's the monk. It's basically a mix of assassin and Amazon. The monk, a holy warrior who attacks faster than the eye can follow, disabling the enemies with precise blows. Holy and mental magic infuse the monk with the ability to heal and deliver crippling damage to adversaries. Force of spirit. Okay, so we have 2 strength-based characters, which I don't really care much for strength. There's 2 dex-based characters. And then we have 3 intelligence-based characters, which again, I'm not into 100%. I am into the monk though. So maybe we go monk. Yeah. Hero name Jathrin. Nope. We're keeping the tradition alive. Wolf. Wolf the monk. Oh, where did my clothing go? Alright, let's see. Game settings. Campaign, adventure. Play through the storyline. Act. Quest. Difficulty. Okay. Network settings. Quick match, options, more. Leaderboards? Whatever. Rest in peace, yank that bow back. That was my Dark and Darker character, and it shall remain my Dark and Dark character. That character can never be remade. It's a relic of its time, and so therefore it will stay in time. Invite only. So hold on. This is new in patch. I guess we'll just figure it out as we go, right? View hero profile. Banner. Oh, I can customize my banner. That's pretty cool. Guys, we're trapped in the main menu. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have to first fix my banner. There's gotta be... Oh, don't tell me it's locked. Oh, wait. There's a few open ones. Belly Isle. Blau. No, the wolf is just locked. Complete the speedrun triumph challenge listed below. Man. Maiden of Lust. Maiden of Lust. I think Yank That Bow Back was your peak in naming. Like, if you get a puppy or a child or anything, any name you come up with will come short of Yank That Bow Back. Like I said, it was an element of its time. I could only come up with that name once and never again. The wolf is taken up. I don't know what to do. Toggle variant. Oh, whoa, variants. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, take me back to the top. Oh God, it's so slow. Anyway, after we take up the next 3 hours of stream by customizing our banner, how are you guys doing? Just found out you can only use one amiibo per 24 hours, so make it count when you do. Ugh. Alright. So instead of a wolf, let's go with... I'm feeling... like a tree. Yeah. I'm a tree. By the way, Ganon armor is a thing after Act 5. Oh. Alright, let's not give too much away. Let's let's keep the spirits high for the limited amount of time we have with this game. Cause I can't like discredit the game right out the gate, you know. I need to at least enjoy my 3 hours at this point, because I was exercising my democratic right. Centered large. Let's go with a nice blue-green background with the edges. Midnight edges is fine, and the tree itself will be teal. No, that's really hard to see. Maybe like a yellow green, and we'll make this color teal. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I can have a second thingy. Wolves. There we go. The wolves of the tree. Look at that. Look at that banner, chat. Now that's a banner. Hell yeah. Cool. Let's start. Normal difficulty, please. Hell yeah. Oh, cutscene time.
The gods are in all things. And everywhere I see signs of change. The wind bears an unnatural chill. And my people grow uneasy. Now, fire burns the sky and scorches the vault of the heavens. I must carry out the will of the patriarchs. When they need to see, I am their eyes. Where they wish to strike, I am their fist. When they would ignite the light of truth, I am their torch. They have sent me to where the heavenly fire has fallen.
Tristram.
My mind is clear. I will rid Tristram of the shambling corpses that have risen in the fire's wake.
Wow, so each class, and I'm guessing like gender combo, has a unique intro.
I smell fear and death.
I smell
fallen
fear
star is
and
near.
death. Alright, we're playing with the controller now, so we have to get acclimated with the game all over again. Oh, cool, we have a neat little like dodge roll. Hell yeah, dude. What? Hiya, hiya. Hiya. Attack the monster. Hiya, hiya, hiya. Hiya, hiya. Eat my monk fists of power. I am too powerful for the likes of you. They need my help. Don't shoot me. Friendly fire.
Has upset the balance of this land. I seek it.
I seek it.
It fell on the old cathedral. There was only one survivor, Leah. You should speak with her.
Captain Rumpert, more dead are coming.
We can't open the gates until we drive them back.
I'll drive them back. Don't worry. Me and me alone.
Keep coming.
Kills massacre. 13
I've never
kills.
seen anyone fight like that before.
You've achieved level
Open the gates.
2.
You'll find Leah at the Slaughtered Calf Inn.
New skill unlocked. Lashing tail kick. Hoya! Cost spirit to use. Ooh.
Burn those corpses before they rise again.
The burning bodies.
The dead have been a bane on our existence since that cursed fire fell. We have to
Yo.
burn them, just to make sure they don't rise from... The dead have been a bane on our existence since that cursed fire fell. We have to burn them, just to make sure they don't rise from the grave.
So dead bodies need to be burned so that they don't come back as zombies. That makes sense. So I'm level 2. Can I like... Do I have a skill point? Oh, core points is what they're called. Oh no, that's what that is. Offense points. Okay. This will take some time to get used to.
I came here to study the fall of old Tristram. This is closer to the town's history than I want to be.
Zakharum has fallen to this. May the gods who abandoned us come to your aid one last time.
Hello.
Got a right good bunch of things for you this fine day.
This fine day. Book of Cain. Oh. He left me a book so I can identify items. Ooh, what's that? Signet Ring of the Blizzard. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take that. What is this? The Legend of Ganondorf! Amiibo portal! Ha ha! Where are my items? Items? Ah, here we go. Cosmetics. Ooh. Wow, already there's so much here. Provides transmogrification plans for the king of the Gerudo-themed armaments. Known by many names, born as the only male once every century, he embodies pure evil and hatred, seeking world domination. He is often thwarted by a young hero. This seems to tell a different story than you were expecting. Woo! And the amiibo portal opens a portal to a strange dimension. Alright, we'll wait before we use the amiibo portal. Unless I already used it. I don't think it's one-time use, right? No, it's there. Cosmetics. Portrait frames. Wings. Wow, look at all these wings. Prime evil wings. Sanguine flight. Wings of the Crypt Guardian. Mercy's gaze. Echoes of the mask. I'm Mercy now. Okay. Where to? I'm guessing in here. The Slaughtered Calf Inn.
Tristram used to be such a wonderful place to live. My family has been here since the town grew out of the ruins of old Tristram. But now, it's horrible. The loved ones we've buried and grieved over now threaten our lives.
Okay. Sorry that happened. Hello, Leah.
Are you Leah? Rumford said you survived the fallen star.
I did, but it blasted my uncle Deckard Cain into the depths of the old cathedral. I tried to search for him, but the dead were already rising. I came
Dead
back
rising.
here to rally the militia, but watch out! The wounded are turning.
Oh! Kill the wounded.
Killing business.
I'm killing business? I'm sorry, I just saved your life.
The dead will overwhelm us all unless something is done.
I will send them back to their graves. I will save your town.
Thank you. You should speak with Captain Rumford at the gate. He can tell you what to do.
Alright, hold on, because we need to partake in some transmogrification. Also, is this equipped? Oh, now it is. Holy crap. Chance to freeze on hit. 13 vitality, 3 to 6 damage. Alright, how do I transmogrify? What does it say? No, I missed it. Cosmetics. Oh, Triforce. Yeah. Penance Bloodmaster. Okay, I don't think I want that. Pets. Oh, I can get a Cucko. Yeah. Woo! Now, how do I equip Ganondorf? I guess I have to, like, make my gear appear that way. I gotta find Transmog. Talk to Captain Rufford. Is it in here? Leah's book.
We've been under siege for 6 days now. Uncle Deckard is still missing. Captain Rumford and the others are losing hope.
Uncle
I
Deckard?
tell them not to lose faith, but if help doesn't arrive soon...
Welcome to the Slaughtered Calf Inn. Bring me whatever treasures you have no use for. I'll give you a bit of coin to save up for your casket.
Okay, buddy. Quests. Leia's under siege. Talk to Captain Rumford at the gate. Are you Captain Rumford? You're the mayor.
Clear the way. I wish to pass.
How dare you speak to me like that? I am the mayor of this town.
Please, move your cart.
Are you mad? This town is doomed. Anyone with a grain of sense should be trying to get out. Will you help me or not?
No. You are beyond saving, coward.
Damn. You're beyond saving, you coward.
Dare lift a finger to help.
The dead, rising from
Neck
their
the
graves.
Brawler?
This must be the end of the world.
Some heroes are fighting each other in an area near here.
Oh, this is
Wanna go?
PvP.
Oh, and you didn't.
I promised Marco I'd protect him, and now he's dead.
16
Okay.
militiamen went out. Only Rumford came back. How could that help?
Kane's house. Whoa, this is Deckard Kane's house, dude.
We have come at last to Tristram's old cathedral. This is where
Stay.
Diablo, Lord of Terror,
Listen.
first corrupted mankind.
Stay a
This
while.
is where I may finally find the answers I seek. Leah worries after my safety, but I believe information vital to defeating the last lords of the burning hells can be found here.
I will help you fight the risen dead.
I admire your courage, but Captain Dalton and the militia were slaughtered by those things. Only I survived.
That will not be my fate.
Well, I have seen you fight. Strike at the wretched mothers and their queen.
The
They're
wretched
the ones
mothers.
vomiting out these horrors.
They're attacking the barricades!
Oh no. Protect the barricades.
That's one of the wretched mothers. There are more of them in the ruins down the road.
Oh, it's like an actual mother? Let's go kill the wretched queen. Oh, did I equip the dagger? Is it better? Oh no, I just have it in my offhand. Oh, neat. Old Tristram Road. Oh, what's with all this puke, dude? Cloth tunic. Nice, we're slowly upgrading. Pile of boons. Oh shoot, they crawl at you, dude? What the heck? Okay, so hold on. Now that I have cloth tunic, stat ranges. Maybe it'll be an NPC that I can talk to. Oh, those were quill fiends. Wow. I recognize all these creatures. Because I played the original games. It all comes together, doesn't it, chat? Ew.
My strength has increased.
Level 3, baby. I can increase my skills. Oh. I see. Strike multiple enemies in a row with each attack. Every third hit has a chance to knock enemies up into the air. Nice. Damp cellar. Okay, we got our first little mini dungeon here. A short bow. Hell yeah. Massacre. Billionaire. Overkill. We gotta find another wretched mother. Oh, mother. Wretched mother. 7 items crashed. Dimensional speed. They should have really added an announcer to this game. I know it's a little dated, but like I think it would still, you can still pull it off. Actually, do games they don't have announcers anymore, do they? Like, what game can you think of that has an announcer?
Our wretched creatures are no more. The town should be safe for now.
Yay, we saved the town. Ooh, the cave under the well. Stab, stab, stab. Do I have a run option? Doesn't seem like it. Ooh, reptilian cloth pants. Nice. I realize I'm blocking the minimap, but you guys don't care, right? I'm not blocking the health bar, which I think is more important to the viewer. Ooh, a sash. I will say the ambiance, the music, you can kind of hear it. I'm also wearing this head. But I'll keep it on for at least an hour of the stream. My head is getting kind of warm. But I just realized the fan isn't on in this room, so that could also be part of the problem. Oh. Braywere the Gaslight. Oh, what is this? Dodge. 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 Oops. Quick shoes. What do they do? +4 movement speed. Nice. Insightful gloves. Man, I'm getting all sorts of items, dude. Oh, did they get rid of exploding barrels? If they did, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Reptilian cloth pants. You've picked up a magic item. Life per second. Ooh. Cool. Checkpoint.
The ruins of Old Tristram. The shadow of Diablo still hangs over this place.
The shadow of Diablo. Ooh, waypoint. Oh, it's the Wretched Queen. Well, okay. That was the Wretched Queen. I guess let's replace our main hand with the Masterful Dagger. Now I just have 2 daggers. I guess. New skill unlocked. Ooh, Blinding Flash. Blind all nearby enemies. for 3 seconds. Definitely a lot more skills. So, okay. If anybody cares enough to, could you pull up the stats for when Diablo 3 came out? And possibly when Diablo 2 came out?
There's chaos everywhere, and word in town is that Lachdanin killed the king. If only this is true, perhaps our days and nights of living in terror are behind us now.
So Diablo 2 came out in 2000 and Diablo 3 in 2012. Wow. So okay, that informs a lot here, because I'm gonna give my first impressions of Diablo 3. We've been playing for like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long we've been playing. But you can immediately tell, or you can see that sort of 12-year gap between the two games. You can kind of feel it when you play it. Now, granted, I'm playing, you know, on a console, and part of me also believes that this game was designed with console in mind. But regardless, 2000, I mean, we're talking about like, you know, the new millennia, when like PC gaming really sort of like, it was still sort of early in its conception. So a game like Diablo 2 really, it was on Xbox, I believe. Yeah, exactly. So like Diablo 3 was designed with console in mind. And let me tell you, right off the gate, it feels right. So Diablo 2 launches in 2000 during an era where like PC gaming like now kind of makes sense. Not that it didn't before, but like in the age of like, oh, it's a new millennia, new technology, like we now sort of think of technology in a new way. So Diablo 2 comes out at the perfect time where big games sort of like feed into that imagination of like, wow, video games can be this deep and rich and sort of like endless, because we barely finished Act 1 of Diablo 2. We barely even finished it. We didn't finish it, actually. I was missing the very last quest. But there was already so much that I could like repeatedly do in that game. And there were like more classes to choose from. Granted, I don't know how much Resurrected like changes or adds or takes out. I didn't play the expansion version, but it was Diablo 2 Resurrected. But then 12 years later, we're talking 2012. That's like, what are we talking here? Like YouTube? What, YouTube was like 2010 or something like that when it first like came out, or like was first conceptualized. So this game feels very much of its time. Like I could feel myself, like I feel like I'm playing an Xbox game, which makes sense because it came out on Xbox first. But even down to like the combat of just holding a controller and just like mashing A to beat shit up, and I can use the right stick to dodge, and all these like extra systems, it like immediately clicks, which is so interesting. Because my biggest like, not gripe, I like to say gripe because I like to be annoying, but my biggest gripe with Diablo 1 and 2 and just most ARPGs in general is how much it's like how much the interface is just, I'm looking down at my character and I'm clicking around, sort of instructing my character to do things, and most of what I do is like done with the mouse and with the hotkeys that I decide to make for myself, which isn't bad. Again, I just played Diablo 1 and 2. I'm kind of sort of saying this so that it's documented on stream on the VOD. But Diablos 1 and 2, represent exactly why I never played them to begin with when I was a kid, because the interface wasn't for me just yet. Now as an adult I can appreciate it, because I can be like, oh yeah, no, this is totally a game I could, like, if I called in sick one day, I would just be at my computer playing Diablo or something. And now playing Diablo 3, I'm like, oh yeah, kid me would have loved Diablo 3. I think this makes sense for somebody who just wants to mash the A button and like look ridiculous. And we also established the idea of the hub world here a bit, like, not better, but like more in depth. There's definitely way more NPCs to talk to and a whole bunch of systems.
Thank you for your help, but could you talk some sense into Leah? She won't give up on the idea of rescuing her uncle.
Nor should she. I will help her find him.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Leah. Let's find your uncle.
Come, let us search for your uncle.
Yeah.
We'll need to open the cathedral first. The guards locked it up before they were ambushed. Rumford told me they fought their way back to Adria's hut. The key must still be there.
Diablo 3 definitely feels more intended for younger audiences. I would love to show you the original pitch documents for 1. I think I've seen them, actually, because I saw a video. I forget what the original topic of the video was. I'm pretty sure it was about how Diablo came to be. Actually, no, yeah, it was a GDC like panel where somebody went over the like history of Diablo's conception. So I think I know what documents you're talking about. And yeah, it's like it's fascinating to say the least. And also there was like they were still trying to figure out how to make the camera work in the game, or like the difficulties they had, and incorporating the grid based like movement system where like you're not just clicking where to go in Diablo, you're clicking on a grid, and when you're attacking on that grid. So Diablo 1 has a lot of like interesting graphical glitches when it comes to like interacting with the world. Victorious Castle, goddamn. I guess I can afford a new tunic. Yeah, but I'll probably find a better one, right? Like that's always the idea. You're gonna find better shit. Alright, hold on. There has to be an area where I can transmog, right? Where's the transmog station? That's fine. Let's continue. To the old ruins. And when I say
Here, let me open the gate.
when I say younger me would have enjoyed this, I do mean that in the sense that like I was younger age-wise, but also just like I feel like when you're younger, you're a bit more
Adria was my mother,
open-minded.
but I don't know much about her. She died when I was very young. I was raised by Uncle
I don't know what it is nowadays,
What
but like
happened to
I
your
feel like when I was a kid, I was a
I'm
bit
told
more
he was a great
open-minded about
warrior who
trying
was
just
lost when
anything
Tristram
that
fell
I
to the demons.
got my hands on. Whereas like now as an adult, I kind of have like agency over what games I get to play or not. Like ultimately it's my decision what I spend my money on. So I try to make that a decision a bit more I try to make that decision a bit more like backed up by, you know, whatever it is that I want to back it up with. That's a very blasé way of explaining that, but I hope that comes across as like it's very
hidden cellar. Follow me.
It's very different to say that like a game is intended for children versus like a game is intended for more people than just like a niche audience.
Your mother's secrets are here.
People said she was a witch, but I never believed it. Captain Dalton!
I also for some reason love my character's accent. I don't know why, but a monk that sort of like speaks in this way is like entertaining for me. I couldn't tell you why. Also, can I not use short bows as a monk? What's the limitation here? Maybe I'm not trained in the bow? Oh well, that's fine. Oh, we also have ads. Let me take this opportunity to get some water. I'll be right back. All right. We return to your regularly programmed
Here's the key,
Diablo.
and my mother's journal. What I've seen of it is disturbing. I want to know more about her, but that can wait. We need to save Uncle Deckard first.
I will find your uncle. Stay here and find out what you can.
Thank you.
Came to me last
You can
night.
tell me where
I
Transmog
suspected
is.
what was lurking within his troubled heart. I consoled him as best I could. Regardless, wherever he's headed, hell will surely follow in his wake. The
Yeah,
shadows close in on Tristram once again. But like Aiden, I'll be gone before they fall.
Yeah, I'm fine with you telling me where it is.
For a long time, Uncle Deckard avoided coming. This is where I don't know.
How did your mother die?
Well, details are hazy, but I know that Adria was obsessed with chasing the arcane. Uncle Deckard believed...
I'm going in blind mostly in the sense of like I'm not trying to like optimize my gameplay or play on a higher difficulty. I'm just sort of like experiencing the game as like raw as I can. Miriam Jazzy is the NPC you talk to for transmogging your items, but that NPC is unlocked after doing the quest Souls of the Dead in Act 5. So that's why you said Ganondorf is only Act 5, because you don't unlock the ability to transmog until Act 5. Damn. Damn. Come on, game. Figure yourself out. Come on, game. Go to the cathedral. Go to the cathedral. Look at all these dead people. Oh, do I hold it down? Oh, that's a fun ability. Yeah, at least we have the Mercy Wings.
Tristram Cathedral. The star fell here.
Cathedral level 1. Now we're going down. We're going down. Well, luckily we have a mini-map now.
The star fell here.
See, it's interesting how the invention of the mini-map, or maybe not so much the invention, but like the application of the mini-map in modern video games. Oh, okay. That was to show me an interesting moment. The sort of like adaptation of modern console games and the idea that we should have had mini-maps the whole time. Hello, Alex. Yes, welcome to the extra rare, extra special Wednesday stream, because it is Hell Week, and so we must play all the Diablos, and so today is Diablo 3. I don't know who your favorite furry streamer is, but it's definitely not me. But if you were wondering how I'm doing great. He's learning. You better not. No, no, no. No, no, no. That's not how we roll around here. Don't listen to him. No, no, no. Listen to me. You should probably listen to me, the person streaming and the one creating the brand that you all consume. Oof. Oh geez, leeches? Corpse one? My goodness. I thought my chicken was in danger for a second. What was the button for map? There you go. Damn, this cathedral's already pretty big. Wolf in denial. I'm not in denial. There's nothing to deny. Alright? There's simply just a lot of assumption and labeling that I don't appreciate. Alright? By the way. I never agreed to these terms. So I don't know why people want to push it so hard. I don't know what their obsession is. Ooh, a cursed chest. Oh, okay.
I don't have enough spirits.
I don't have enough spirit. Damn, that's a lot of waves, dude.
You are defeated.
Wait, but the timer expired. What do I do? Wait, did I still
My
win?
path becomes clearer.
Fist of Thunder rune unlocked. Cool. What'd that do? Oh, Fist of Thunder. Release an electrical shockwave with every punch and cause knockback. Oh. Hmm. Okay. Oh. Nephalem Glory. What the heck is that? Lumber Axe of Wounding. What did I just acquire? Is rolling faster? I don't think it is. Huh. Maybe I went the oh well, there's more cathedral. God damn. This place is huge.
My name is Latdanan, and I'm cursed. Once the captain of King Leoric's army, I left only to honor my land and my king. No man has a greater love for his king than I had for mine, even as I drove my blade through his dark and corrupted heart.
Oh.
It's inside me. Inside!
How was I supposed to help him? Oh, Nephalem Glory is it's a butt.
A vicious strike!
Oh, what? Oh. That all just leads back to where I was. That's funny. Checkpoint. We love checkpoints.
Foul minions, stay back.
Oh, it's Deckard Cain.
May this ledge hold. The Skeleton King?
The power of the fallen star awakened me, and soon all will suffer as I have suffered. Gods, bring me his bones!
Deckard Cain, look out!
I will save you!
Back to your graves! Thank you, but why did you risk yourself for me?
It was not your time, old man. Come, Leah is waiting for you.
Oh, it is wonderful to hear that Leah is well. I feared the worst. I learned of this secret passage through old maps I found. We must discuss the fallen star. Follow me to Tristram.
Ooh, Tristram.
I have kept my word and rescued Leah's uncle, Deckard Cain. I saved him from a creature called the Skeleton King, who now bars my way to the fallen star.
Uncle, you're alive!
Thanks to you and your friend here.
Time runs short. Tell me what you know of the fallen star.
Not much, I'm afraid, though the prophecy of the end days surely points to it as a sign that the end has begun.
Please, Uncle, not more of your stories. All that matters now is that you're back.
Yeah. Reptilian leather hood of the Hawk.
The Skeleton King was once our beloved lord, Leoric. He was driven mad by Diablo's evil.
Diablo's
He lost both of his sons and his very soul before he was finally defeated. Now it seems he's risen to plague this land once again.
Nonetheless, the Skeleton King bars my path to the fallen star.
The key to defeating him lies in his old crown. Seek out our blacksmith, Hadrig. He knows of its whereabouts. Leah, you should not dismiss the signs so lightly. Do you not believe the evidence of your own eyes?
Horrors have visited Tristram before, and it endured.
But what of the texts?
Oh, that's not the blacksmith, that's the miner.
Warn of a falling star. The Herodric scrolls.
I'm just gonna let him talk.
I have some new items. Don't touch anything unless you're buying it. I like to keep my inventory clean.
Ooh, Warrior's Revival. Plus 16 dexterity. Ooh. I mean, I can afford it. Hell yeah, brother. Definitely sell these pants. Don't need them. Don't need these shoes. Adventuring shoes, don't need them. Definitely don't need the javelin or the broadaxe. Can probably low quality bracers. No, definitely want to equip those. Ooh. So, can monks not use bows? Intelligence, vitality, damage. Am I just not apt to use bows? Okay. I can sell the rest of this. Okay.
Leah spent all night alongside the blacksmith's wife, tending the wounded.
Oh.
Jelsa, how sweet of you to ask. My people, the Vetchin, are nomads, always traveling, looking for the land we might settle. All of us have the sight, but few have it as strong as myself. You know, men have always pursued me for my visions. Well, for things other than my visions. But everyone wants to know
what kind of line is that?
The future is known by the gods.
All right.
So serious.
Yeah,
Just because
what?
you're fated to save the world doesn't mean you shouldn't have a good time.
Yeah, see, Miriam gets it. Oh. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Act 5 what? Act 5 my ass. Ah! It's so expensive. You have to pay money? I have to pay money? Oh shit, I just spent money. I didn't actually mean to do that. 50,000? Just to be hot? Alright. We have a new quest. Oh, I can train. No? 1 new item slot available for enchanting. 23 new transmogrify unlocks. I don't think I fully understand. Uh-huh. Train the mystic to learn new recipes. Oh, I get it. So I'll unlock all these transmogs. 1 new item slot available for enchanting. I see. So I've unlocked this. Okay. I see. This is a very delicate process. But what matters more is that I get a whole bunch of money so I can look like Ganondorf.
Blacksmith. Deckard Cain said you could help me find the crown.
So that's the mission of today's stream.
Not now. It's my wife. She's locked in the cellar like all those who've been bitten. I'm to put them all down. But how can I kill my own wife?
My own wife?
But it must be done. I will help you.
I will help you kill your wife.
No one round here appreciates the work I put into acquiring these fine wares.
That's crazy, dude.
I can tell you that.
Alright, I permanently cannot purchase anything because I'm saving up all my money. Alright, let's go kill this dude's wife. Any wives in here?
I'm sorry.
This must be done. My understanding grows.
Oh, your wife is fine.
Forgive me.
Oh, wait. Are you actually gonna kill her?
Hedrig, help me.
Oh no, she's gone. Aw. Well, your wife's dead.
I couldn't have done this without you. I'm in your debt. My name is Hedrig Aemon.
As it happens, I am
Suavemente
looking for King
percent.
Leoric's crown. Perhaps you know of it.
I can help you there. It's buried with his chancellor, my grandfather.
Your
You'll find
grandfather
his
was a
tomb in
chancellor?
cemetery in the Weeping Hollow.
What the
And if you
hell?
see
An undating, desiccated heart of focus.
my fool apprentice out there, tell him to get back to town.
Yeah, what's your fool apprentice doing out of town in the first place? Or at least turn a fire that burns nearby enemies. Ooh. Kind of like that. Let's go adventuring. Oh, you guys think we should do one of the amiibos? Oh, well, we got ads in a minute, so after the ads. Yeah, I don't think I have any Diablo amiibos.
Your strength fails. A vicious strike. Favored me. I'll bring that down.
Active skill unlocked. Breath of Heaven. What could that be? Adventuring Boots of the Bear. Vitality and experience gain. And more armor. Don't mind if I do. I seem to have gotten something else too. No, I don't think so. Oh yeah, skill, that's right. Breath of Heaven. Heal yourself and nearby allies. That's not Ganon. We're the big man. So the big man costs 50,000 gold per piece of armor. So I have to, yeah, I have to grind up some gold first before I can do that. Hey, I'm a small woman with big wings, right? At least I get these wings. Are those mercy wings? Yes. Yes, they are. That guy got blown up. The Cemetery of the Forsaken. Oh, here it is. Lucky. Healing well. Nice. Let's go back to town real quick. I'd like to sell some of my extra equipment.
I've spent most of my life traveling from place to place with Uncle Deckard while he did his crazy research.
What does your uncle seek?
He's convinced that the forces of hell will invade our world and bring about the end times. All
Yes,
these
he's right.
years, he's still searching for a way to stop this apocalypse.
Sorry, chat. I'm back. I was fetching an amiibo. I wasn't sure which one would be the most appropriate one, but then I saw that I have Ganondorf, the Tears of the Kingdom edition from Japan. You can tell because there's Japanese on the box. It's hard to tell, but we're gonna open this puppy up. I don't think the Mercy Wings, no, shut up. I don't think the Mercy Wings are a product of owning Overwatch. I think they just added it to this game because it's a Blizzard property. So they were like, why not? Wow, this just turned into an unboxing stream. There he is. Oh, goddamn. I didn't know it had a whole base and everything. Look at him, chat. Ganondorf. Value diminished. Alright. How dare you? That's worth 8 pence now. Alright, relax. It's an amiibo. Okay. Let's see. Chat clip that. Alright, hold on. Let's address this. Goob, why are you flipping your shit? And Squid, why are you on my ass? I can just go to Japan and get another one. It's fine. NRFB? I can't watch, how dare you? NRFB? Never removed from box? Shut the fuck up. Then how do you I can't use it. Anyway. No. That's not the plot we're writing here, okay? That was simply a goof, all right? No, I honestly was thinking about that stuff. Like keeping, you've lost your Gandalf, bro, just hand it over. No, like, I was thinking about it, like, I understand the collector value, of, like, toys and stuff that are kept in their packaging, in their original packaging, but I have no intention of collecting nor reselling any of my amiibo, like, regardless of value, I feel. No, because, like, again, this is something that's, like, mass produced. Like, you can still get these. Anyway, how do I access this portal? Do I have to, like, tap the amiibo?
I must try this somewhere else.
Oh, it can't be used in town. Only 4 were made. Prove it. All those fingerprints of layers of dust. Alright.
Some new items that I'm
It's an
certain you'll
amiibo.
love.
Relax. Oops. I didn't mean to buy that. God damn it. Imagine Danny opening it and then just, like, eating cotton candy and touching it. Guys, I'm not dirty. My hands are clean. And it's, like, right there. It's on he's on his little stand. Look how cool that is. Right? And he's got his sword. That's pretty badass. It's a cool figure. I can already see the paint chipping. Alright. Now you guys are just being weird on purpose. I don't like this side of you guys. It's very weird. Alright. Let's head back out. Damn, I only have 3,000 gold. That's pitiful. Okay, so I think we have to use the amiibo out here. So let's do that. Amiibo portal.
A worthy challenge.
What do you mean it summons monsters for me to fight? Oh my god, this amiibo is gonna kill me. Is that it? How dare... Oh wait. Sorry. I was still overcome by the aggressiveness that I read that as how dare you like the monk. And you were asking me how do I like the monk. I think monk is cool so far. I do find it kind of funny that, like, I can equip swords and still, like, punch. Like, I understand the weapons are there just to provide me with the stats, but it is a little funny how that works. Also, I don't think monk is the worst class in 5e. Hold on, little sir. The equipping of the swords is so dumb, is what you're saying? Equip a sword and then sheath it for each punch, then pull it back out. Bad game. Now, okay, like, again, I understand it's for the purpose of the stats. And you are right that it is silly that I'm, like, putting the swords away so I can punch people. I mean, granted, that's not even represented in the animation fully. Actually, it is. It's, like, right there on my belt. Or you can be a wizard, but the best DPS is from wielding a great maul instead of like a wander staff. Yeah, that is a little wacky. But I don't know if you were here at the beginning, where I was talking about how after playing Diablo 1 and 2, ironically enough, playing Diablo 3 on a console, especially because it was designed with console in mind, I feel, it feels right as far as like that sort of design mantra. Because playing on a controller, this feels accurate. This feels appropriate. I don't know why. I can't explain it. It's mashing A to attack. It's having the ability to roll with the stick. Like, it's the way that it feels, sort of just like a bit more like a game, right? Especially a game of its time. Lots of people like the controller, which is wrong. Okay, see, this is why we can't have academic conversations. If you're a caster, it's awful. I didn't consider that because I chose not to play a caster because I think wizards are... No, that's incorrect. I don't think wizards and sorcerers are not cool. I think in the world of Diablo, there's something about them that doesn't sit right with me. And I could get into the details of that. But I'm distracted by all the combat I'm engaging with. Oh. Survive the skeletons. Actually, it's kind of ironic and funny that like I chose not to play Demon Hunter, or like a ranged class in general for this game, even though for Diablos 1 and 2 I was playing like an archer build. Now I kind of want to play a sorcerer just to try it out. Just to prove you wrong. I mean, you're playing Gauntlet? Kind of, in a sense. Like, it pretty much is like playing like a beat-em-up, but like not a side-scrolling beat 'em up. And I think I like that. I think that's cool. Because I also said this earlier, just sort of to provide context to Squiddy Boy. But playing Diablo 1 and 2 contextualized why I wouldn't have played those games growing up, and why probably I would have played Diablo 3 had I given it the chance or had the opportunity to play it. But in my current sort of in my current age, I can appreciate Diablo 1 and 2 for what they are, and enjoy Diablo 3 for the level of accessibility it provides. Because I kind of do enjoy how in this game I have put negative amount of thought into most of what you see right now. I'm just comparing numbers and stats. This gives me more dex, which I want more of. Oh, I have when did I get that? Death Bloom? Okay. Oh, it's a two-handed sword. Huh. I lose 16 dex, but that's fine. What is this? Piercing tread. Increased chance to knock enemies up into the air, and the second and third hit gains increased area of effect. Yes, please. What's this? Dashing strike. Quickly dash and strike enemies. You gain a charge every 8 seconds. Green arrow up. As long as green arrow go up. Yeah, exactly. And I think there's a time and place for those kinds of design choices. And this definitely feels like a good place for it. Especially for a video game that came out in 2012. Because this is very much a game of its time. The description is the name in the description. Hold on. Dashing strike. Quickly dash and strike. Oh my god.
The storm breaks.
Okay, did my attack speed go down because I equipped this sword? Oh. This gives me dexterity. I waited 11 years for this game, and it was supposed to heal me from my 2012 breakup, but it just threw me deeper into depression. See, I think... Now, not to sort of like use you as a scapegoat here or anything, but also don't worry about attack speed as long as DPS number go up. All right, that's fair. I just sometimes I think prefer when the animation is a little faster. Like, let me see if I'm high or not. Yeah, like this is definitely faster than the other thing. So I'm actually gonna rock with this for just a little bit longer. But yeah, not to use you as like a scapegoat or anything, but it is kind of wild how perspective is everything. Because so again, at the beginning of the stream, I asked when did Diablo 2 come out and when did Diablo 3 come out? And Diablo 2 came out in the year 2000 and Diablo 3 came out in 2012. And Diablo 3 in 2012 is very much a game of its time. It came out on Xbox. It was designed with the idea of console in mind, and it sort of fits the market at the time, because in 2012 we're talking like, I think YouTube was conceptualized in 2010 or whatever, and that sort of like day and age where we had like internet, like the beginnings of internet culture, or like deep internet culture, like post dial-up, like the world was different. Video games were created differently, whereas Diablo 2 in the year 2000 was pretty much built in a world where like, okay, technologies are advancing, we can make computer games more complex now, so let's make a game, let's make Diablo 2, let's make Diablo 1, but if it had like way more space on the disc or whatever, and make these massive zones. YouTube was 2005? That's crazy. No, and that's what I mean. Diablo 3 is not complex, but that was on purpose because of the market back in 2012. This is what I'm getting at. So like, so hold on. So Diablo 2 was built on top of the notion that like, all right, this is where we're at with game development technology as like a resource. And Diablo 1, we can take the lessons we learned from that and make a bigger Diablo 1. Now, when you look at the timeline from Diablo 2 to 3, we're talking 12 years of a gap. I don't know how long it was in development, but during that gap, both the market changed and the technologies changed. So they built the game for a console audience, to just as far as like market value goes, but it's also very interesting that that decision is made because they didn't ignore this fact. People who played Diablo 2 would have naturally expected Diablo 3 to be Diablo 2 but better, much like a Diablo 1 to a Diablo 2. But now if we insert a 12-year gap of just like 12 years of technology and game development, a lot can change. Yes, and that actually yeah, and that is actually you bring up a really good point. I'm gonna read it out loud before the ads play. What's funny though is game dev for both 1 and 2 wasn't like an organized deal. It was a studio that was owned by Blizzard, 4 guys in a basement. There wasn't like a AAA company where resources put into it. And that is exactly what sort of like hold on, Cramps. And that is exactly what I'm getting at, is that like those factors play such a big role, but it's also the same nuance that sort of like brings out the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So like for me, as somebody who is not invested in this franchise, and I'm literally playing these games as a gimmick for Halloween, because I was like, what would be a spooky game for me to play during Halloween? Oh, I know. I'll play all the Diablo games because I don't like those games and I find them spooky to play. Kind of as a gag. But I'm quickly realizing that like there's a lot to be talked about with this series, and it's pretty interesting and fascinating. Diablo 3 was the beginning of how do we get mass appeal, substance is secondary. We need return on investment. Exactly. And the thing is, that is something that if as a consumer, that becomes a tale of like, do I want to know how the sausage is made? Like, the crown is not here. How much would change if I didn't know that was the decision made or not? Do you wish to travel to the entrance of the current dungeon? Sure. It was the beginning of the end for integrity in the game industry. Oh fuck, I'm doing it too now. No, this is a very important conversation because like we have to identify and sort of come to terms that like games are produced very differently, even within the same franchise, one from one to the next, and that often can change a lot of the DNA of the game, but ultimately the person who purchases it and enjoys it is sort of like the company's goal at the end of the day. Whether it's tough because like there's many different conversations that could be. What is my quest? What am I doing? Search for the Chancellor's altar beneath the cemetery of the Forsaken. Oh, okay, I haven't done that yet. We have to identify. No. All right, we've got an ad break, so let's take a moment to cool down and collect ourselves. All right. Oh, where's my torch? Not by the pitchfork. Where's my super suit? That's funny that you say that, because I said that before stream because I was looking for my Sonic costume. I was late to stream, by the way. All right, after the ads are finished, I'm gonna read the Diablo 1 pitch. If that's what Cramps is grabbing right now. Okay, perfect. Because, funny enough, all right, ads should be over. Funny enough, that we're talking about this now, or rather, the way we're talking about it right now, I actually watched a panel, a GDC panel, on Diablo 1's creation, like the whole story, from like conception to like release. So I actually know the story. I can read it to you while you play, so you don't have to pause stream. I mean, how long is it? Because I feel like if we start a call, we have to, by principle, bring in Nick, and then this is gonna turn into a podcast of debauchery and forsoothing. It's 7 pages of goofy ass shit. All right. No, Nicholas. Oh. Sorry, that actually... Oh, I just spit everywhere. That's actually kind of funny. Alright. Let me find a safe place to be. I'm just in a straitjacket screaming in the background of Cramps' microphone. That is true. He is physically in the same room and could very much commandeer the comms. Anyway, hold on. Let me Ganondorf. I chipped his head. His head fell off. I'm kidding. Alright. Let's get in here. And then we'll get the audio. For Discord. And so the thing about Mephisto is... Wait, is Mephisto... Is that a thing you don't like, Nick? Or... I can't tell. Are you the one screaming about Mephisto? He's just a boss. Alright, Cramps, whenever you want, you can jump in here. You should have access to this room. There we go.
Hello.
Hello. Alright.
Do you want me to at least, like, show you? Like, because it's got, like, some goofy-ass pictures and shit.
I feel... You can send it to me. I feel like I've seen this.
Okay.
If this is the same stuff that was shown off at that panel.
Maybe? I think I know which one you're talking about, but I don't remember if he showed it or not, but I'll send it to you anyway. But I'll read it to you so you can still play and shit.
Alright, cool. Cool.
Alright, so this was back, I think their company was Condor. This is by Condor. And it's Diablo in like fucking Helvetica or whatever.
Okay,
the fuck.
yeah, I have seen.
Font.
Yeah, I have seen these documents. But go
I
ahead.
love them. Okay. The following is Condor Inc.'s proposal for a role-playing game playable on PC-compatible computers. Diablo captures familiar fantasy elements within a unique structure designed for maximum replayability, expandability, and versatility. Diablo fills a neglected niche in the computer game market, as games today substitute gameplay with multimedia extravaganzas and strive towards needless scale and complexity. We seek to reinvigorate the hack and slash, feel-good gaming audience.
So let me pause you right there real quick.
Okay.
I think what's so fascinating about that opening line is that, like, in their original vision, because from what I understand from the story that was told.
Oh, apparently they can't hear me.
Oh, what? But it shows Discord.
Game's too loud.
Oh, game's too loud. Yeah, I figured as much. I was hearing it in my head a little too loud. Let's turn the game down slightly. Let's turn Discord slightly up.
Hello?
Yeah, I think your sound is fine. I just had the game way too loud. Because sometimes I can't tell with my headset. I'll turn the volume up, but then chat's like, it's too loud, it's too quiet, whatever.
Let me reread this so chat can hear it for real this time.
Let's take it from the top. Here is the Diablo 1 pitch document.
It's amazing.
Right? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
This is the OG pitch that they slid over and were like, this is it.
Okay.
We're making it big in the industry. Okay. The following is Condor Inc.'s proposal for a role-playing game playable on PC-compatible computers. Diablo captures familiar fantasy elements within a unique structure designed for maximum replayability, expandability, and versatility. Diablo fills a neglected niche in the computer game market, as games today substitute gameplay with multimedia extravaganzas and strive towards needless scale and complexity. We seek to reinvigorate the hack and slash feel-good gaming audience.
So, okay, yeah, that's where I had you pause initially, because this opening statement is so pivotal to the whole conversation, in that, first of all, a pitch document and also a design document is doing a few things here. A, it's pitching the idea of, like, this is the game we want to make, but it's also pitching the market research that was done to sort of justify the creation of that game. Because one thing in game design that most people don't either learn about or really like talk about as much as they should,
just acknowledge,
is that games are often made as a necessity to the market of games, versus actually like, I want to make a game about a pig who farts rainbows, and like I want it to be called like Fart Pig. And like, if you can come up with an argument as to why this game needs to exist in the market, and it's like a like substantial enough argument, sure, you could make Fart Pig the pig who farts rainbows. But this document is opening up by saying, currently in the PC market, there is a need for like a simple hack and slash like type of game with not a whole lot of complexity. And what I find ironic about that is that this is exactly what we're calling Diablo 3, is a very simplified hack and slash, I'm mashing A and killing enemies on the screen. And I'm not being asked any more of me than
I
just,
do
like,
find it strange that they decided to refer to it as a hack and slash, because in my deepest opinion, it's not a hack and slash.
Right.
You are slow, you are scared, and you are taking things one by one.
And that's the other thing too, is that like the original vision also has a lot to do with that versus what comes out. Because yes, Diablo 1 is not a hack and slash, but it was created with the intention of delivering that feeling, which again, I find ironic that Diablo 3 got that right.
Yeah.
it took them however many years. But yeah, the idea here is that like the guys at Condor who got together and wanted to make Diablo, from what I remember from the story, I could be paraphrasing a little bit, but these guys got together and they're like, hey, we kind of want to make a game that like features devils and like demons and shit and like Dante's Inferno type shit. Like,
they will get into that a little bit here, and it's
yeah,
very
exactly.
adorable.
So yeah, I just found that initial statement sort of like,
I don't know if he covered it in what you watched, but it was originally going to be a turn-based game.
Yeah.
And then they were like, I don't know what made them change it, but they were like, nah, let's do movement. Let's get crazy with it.
I think because they just wanted action, because at the time a lot of computer games were modeled around like turn-based, like D&D style like fantasies. So anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. As games today substitute gameplay with multimedia extravaganzas, triforce, blah blah blah. Good. Feel good audience. Emphasis will be on exploration, conflict, and character development in a dark quest for justice. We hope to produce both a standalone game and its expansion discs. The expansion disc model they have is fucking hilarious. Okay. This initial document will be expanded upon and modified when development is initiated. So here's the overview. Game design. Diablo's role-playing game wherein a player creates a single character and guides him through a dungeon in an attempt to find and destroy Diablo, the devil himself. All the action takes place in an isometric 3/4 perspective with diamond-shaped square floor spaces, the diagram. The entire game operates on a turn-based system. Look at that. Using a mouse, the player moves his character from space to space, exploring corridors and rooms and engaging in combat. The character faces challenges in the form of hostile monsters and traps in his quest to descend deeper into the dungeon. Many beneficial weapons and magical items can be acquired and used to help on this quest. A player will have the choice of many races and classes for his character. That's crazy. There's 3.
Yeah.
That's
also another thing to note here is that in the original document, you know, we're proposing a lot of ideas of like, oh, we want
the
to
vision
be...
is huge here.
Yeah, you're presenting a very huge vision, and that just goes to show that like sometimes it's either due to hardware limitations, due to like maybe something didn't pan out, or like you implemented a mechanic and you're like, actually this mechanic sucks ass. Or sometimes in like more modern environments, you know, the people higher up on the chain might be like, we don't think this is going to work in our current market, so we're axing it. But I digress.
And they're like, we're running out of time, we're running out of money, we can't do it, sorry. Okay, let's see. Forays into the dungeon will be broken up by trips to the town located above. In the town, a general store will provide standard equipment and repairs. You'll also purchase extra equipment for the player. A temple will provide healing for injured and sick characters. Training and other facilities may also be available. The heart of Diablo is the randomly created dungeon. A new dungeon level is generated each time a level is entered, using our dynamic random level generation, DRLG for short, system. Rooms, corridors, traps, treasures, monsters, and stairways will be randomly placed, providing a new gaming experience every time Diablo is played. In addition to random halls and rooms, larger set-piece areas like a maze or a crypt complex will be pre-designed and appear intact in the levels. This system facilitates the inclusion of puzzles and traps and helps the addition of thematic elements. Deeper levels will contain progressively more difficult creatures and hazards. A character's quest ends with the defeat of Diablo, located deep in the dungeon. Page 2. Expandability and replay value are key to Diablo's success. The randomly generated dungeon ensures new opportunities for exploration, as well as unique encounters and adventures. No 2 games will ever be the same. New magic items, creatures, traps, as well as complete scenarios can be added to the base game after the initial purchase and incorporated directly into the DRLG engine. See discussion of expansion packs later in this document.
So
this expandability...
sorry, I just want to point out something super small and quick. This was, when was this?
1994.
1994. In 1994, we were already designing DLC. Like,
yep.
It's just a different name.
Really
it's called an expansion disc, but that's what it is. It's fucking
Yep.
DLC. Like, we're already chopping up the game to be sold separately later on. So that's just a note.
It's really funny. This is just prophetic in all its ways. This expandability further adds to continued replay value. Diablo will support 2-player and multiplayer game sessions via modem or network. A special area dungeon will be available, or arena dungeon will be available for opponents to pit their characters against each other. In 2-player mode, a user-defined type. Oh, PvP's on? Danny's in.
No. That's right. This sort of led to the creation of ArenaNet, actually. I believe. Or had something to do with it, because their original vision included online PvP, so they were like, we need a system so that people can like connect to each other. Sorry, I just made that connection. I was like, that's right. Carry on.
In 2-player mode, a user-defined time limit forces players to move quickly. If they do not specify a move, they lose their opportunity during that turn. As soon as all players register an action, the game progresses, regardless of time limit.
Oh,
the
my
ability
bad.
to play...
Battle.net already existed for Warcraft, but regardless, they had an idea to implement that system into their gameplay because they had access to it.
Yeah. Which is, like, it's adorable, because, like, they're not really... Like, I wonder if this was a catch-all pitch for, like, anybody. Because it doesn't specify like using Battle.net or anything.
Well,
like
they called it ArenaNet, right? Like, what was that line you read about ArenaNet?
A special arena dungeon is
okay.
Yeah. The ability to play against friends will add to the appeal of the expansion packs, as players will seek the upper hand versus their friends. Pay to win.
wait, what was that?
The ability to play against friends will be added to the appeal of the expansion packs, as players will seek the upper hand versus their friends.
Oh, I see.
It's fucking pay to win.
That's funny.
Plot and setting. Diablo is set in a fantastic medieval world where sword and sorcery-wielding heroes battle the forces of darkness. The player's character has just had his life thrown upside down when sinister raiders kill his family and destroy his home, left with nothing but a desire for vengeance. The character traces the raider's steps to a crypt in an expansive labyrinth below. Gathering up his courage and initial weapons, he dives in with fury. The world of Diablo will have a dark, evil tone. Initial levels will be set in an abandoned Gothic church, marble mausoleum, and progressively darker, dingier crypts and catacombs to follow. Deeper, natural cave formations lead to supernatural demonic halls, and finally to the opulent chambers of Diablo. Creatures to be encountered will also follow this sinister theme. The undead will predominate in the form of skeletons, zombies, ghosts, and the like. Deeper levels will be populated with lesser demons and chaos spawn. A sprinkling of natural creatures such as spiders and snakes will add variety. Magic items will reflect religious demonic theme. For example, Mephistopheles' cloak might allow limited control over lesser evil creatures, while a holy mace may be just the thing to shatter pesky skeletons. An open ending will allow for different themes in future sequels. The goblin caves or a living fungus world will have to be explored and conquered. What?
I mean, potential future games.
They were cooking.
Keep it open.
The player will simply have to purchase an expansion disc to have access to these new worlds. Okay. Gameplay. A walkthrough of an example game session follows. After starting up the game, the opening cinematic sequence segues into the main menu screen. 3 options provided are new character, load character, and options. New character allows the player to develop a character and start at the beginning. Load character picks up when an existing character has class left the game, or allows a player to select a pre-generated character to quick start the game. The options selection gives access to sound and configuration options, whatever. A player generating a new character is first presented with a choice of race. We plan to offer 5 or 6 human races: hill people, forest people, etc., each with advantages and disadvantages. After race, the player will select his desired class, choosing either a fighter, thief, or magician, or possibly subclasses of these. That's funny. They were going so D&D with this at first.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, you can feel the presence of that sort of like hobby all over these. Like, if anything has like a drop of like RPG DNA in it, you know for a fact those nerds were rolling d20s.
Oh yeah,
and we're like, what if we just made a video game about this? Like,
I mean, who does it?
Yeah, like it's sort of eye-opening to point out all the like connections there.
Yeah, this is what I find like super adorable. Is like you can really tell it's 1994. These were young nerds. Like, we're making a game, bro. It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be fucking the devil and shit. Let's see. Although all characters will be able to use most weapons and cast some spells, different classes will provide special advantages. Fighters will gain extra attacks, thieves will move faster and with greater stealth, and magicians will have more spells and cast them more powerfully. After making these choices, the computer will provide basic statistics for the character in the categories of strength, magical aptitude, dexterity, and vitality. The player will then be given some discretionary points, to distribute as he sees fit. Magician characters will pick from approximately 4 schools of magic. There will also be a general school, the spells of which are available to all characters. Your character will be provided with some initial equipment and gold, and then placed in town, where play begins. If a player had instead chosen load character from the main menu and then picked one of the pre-generated characters, all of the proceeding would be skipped, and the quick start character would start in town, already equipped. The town is presented in our isometric view with a main road, a town square, and a dozen or so buildings. The player will move his character around by placing the mouse-controlled cursor on the square he wishes to walk to, and left-clicking. Left-clicking on a square will cause the character to move to the selected square by the shortest route possible. Left-clicking on an item or a creature will cause the character to move next to it. If already adjacent to an item or creature, a left-click causes the character to interact in the appropriate way. Trade with the shopkeeper, attack a creature, open a chest, etc. Right-clicking will cast the readied spell in the indicated location. The arrow keys will scroll the map independently of the character. Moving about the town, the character can visit various shops to purchase further equipment, a temple for healing, and his home to rest and store extraneous items and gold. The fun really begins when the player guides his character down the road and enters the abandoned temple, the first level of the dungeon. At this point, the computer generates the layout at the first level. The player can see as much of the dungeon as is visible to the character, determined by lighting, line of sight, and magical factors. Areas that are brightened by light sources fade into blackness. Magical darkness is not light sources. Infravision can detect heat sources within dark areas by providing creatures at distance. As the character moves around, new sections of the dungeon are revealed. When the player clicks on a distant square and a creature comes into view in the middle of the route, the character will stop to await new orders. Interesting.
Yeah, because they had the turn-based aspect in mind there. And I think some of it was also, if I remember correctly, if I'm quoting this correctly, they wanted to implement the turn-basedness comparative to like these old school sort of dungeon crawling games where like every time you move, the dungeon moves with you. So it's turn-based in the way that anytime you do something, the environment then takes its turn simultaneously.
It's like live turn-based or whatever.
Yeah, if you play a lot of those like old, most of them were like first person and like were very much that like Windows XP Labyrinth screensaver style of graphics. Anytime you would like move or attack, the monsters would then move and attack at the same time. So you would have to plan out your moves as well as how you were going to approach each enemy. And so this probably inspired some of the ideas of like, oh, we can incorporate a turn-based combat like that. Because now when we think turn-based, we think like JRPGs
standing
and like
then pressing a
Baldur's Gate
button.
3 and like, yeah, like my turn, your turn. Whereas I think their idea of turn-based was like the environment will move along with you, but it won't actively always be moving.
I have the crown.
Right, yeah.
Where is the Skeleton King?
Okay. The game runs on a turn-by-turn basis. The player moves, then the opponent moves. Okay, so this is alternate. Each character and monster may have a certain amount of action points, which could determine what actions are possible in a given turn. For instance, fire character turns a corner to suddenly see a skeleton 8 squares away. Player left-clicks 2 squares ahead to close the distance. As the fighter moves forward 2 squares, the skeleton also moves forward 2 squares, and a new skeleton comes into view. Moving more carefully, the player clicks on 1 square ahead. The first skeleton also moves 1 square, while the second fires an arrow, hitting the fighter. Again, the player moves forward 1 square. The first skeleton moves onto the square directly in front of the fighter, and the second fires another arrow, missing. Now the fighter and first skeleton exchange blows, with yet another arrow fired by the archer skeleton. Determining that the fighter can't keep sustaining the damage, the player clicks 6 spaces back in retreat. The first skeleton follows, 1 space behind. The archer skeleton fires each turn until the fighter ducks back around the corner. Assuming the fighter escapes, he will go on to explore the dungeon and finally reach the stairs to the next level, whereupon a new level will be generated. If one of those arrows ends up killing the fighter, the character will be erased completely from the hard drive and the player must start from scratch. Rough!
Will be immediately deleted from their hard drive and their computer will explode on a timer.
Now we're getting into marketing. Okay. While Diablo shares familiar role-playing elements with other games in this genre, its unique structure allows a different marketing strategy, one that could lead to sustained long-term sales. There are really 2 products here, Diablo, which stands on its own, and its expansion packs. These packs would consist of 1 disc and maybe an information card in a small package. The disc would contain new elements that are directly installable into the base Diablo game. These elements would include new magic items, new creatures, new traps, and new level graphics. Expansion discs would all be different, or maybe 16 or 32 combinations. It would contain approximately 16 new elements in varying degrees of rarity. A sample disc might contain 1 rare sword, 3 uncommon magic items, 8 common items, 2 creatures, 1 trap, and a new hallway type. How much were these going to cost?
Yeah, I mean, that's the question.
A player would buy a new expansion disc or 2, go home, and install the new data into his game. The new elements would be incorporated into the random mix when a new level is generated. Perhaps a player's character should have 1 goodie directly placed into his inventory for instant gratification. I mean, not so bad. We believe these expansion discs should be priced around $4.95. That's a fucking deal.
I mean, back in that economy, like you also have to.
Lazarus.
Seeing the price tags on anything is funny because like that number changes depending on what year it is.
Yeah, I mean $5 for basically a bunch of gear is an average microtransaction this year.
Exactly.
This day and age.
Exactly.
So this is not unrealistic.
but it's funny considering
with today's standards.
But like it's funny considering the fact that like back then you would have to purchase a physical disc that then had to go into your disk drive to then acquire said content. So there's like printing, distribution, like all sorts of things. I mean, like back then we were using freaking what were they called? Disk
cartridges?
No, disk keys or whatever. Where you have to put in a code.
Oh,
with your disc to like turn it on. Yeah. Okay, make me sound old. You had to get a physical disc. No, but that plays into the marketing. So like when you're charging $4.99 for this expansion disc, you know, okay, luckily Condor is probably pitching this to like a bigger like umbrella that's going to help them with the production costs, so they don't have to think about printing and like how many copies they need to make and etc. etc. This is just a pitch. As if that's precursor tech that cavemen use. Can you imagine physical media? Woo. I'm saying for the time, you know?
I think it's really adorable because like the kind of things they're expecting the market to do here is like they're treating it like you go buy a pack of cards.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
absolutely. And
it's the same like loop as like somebody who is a consumer of like Magic and stuff like that. I'm just like I'm gonna go stop by the store and pick up my disc to go get my cool items for Diablo.
right.
You know.
And that's the thing. Like a lot of this.
I hope I get a rare.
A lot of this, you know, you can't really pitch something as far as like when it comes to marketing. Like let's take video games out of the equation. If you're going to pitch anything at all, you need to propose an argument that shows, hey, people today, like in this year and today, already do this. They spend their money in this way. So if we sold this, we could capitalize on that market because people are already willing to spend money on that. As opposed to like, hey, I have this idea for an invention that nobody knows how to use or even really like understand its existence, but I want to charge them an arm and a leg for it and hope that people get on board. Like it's a bit more, it's trickier no matter what industry you're in to do that. It's possible, but it's difficult.
I like low-key wish they kind of went with this model because I think it would be so cute to just have like a collection of old Diablo discs. So just like this has this sword on it and this monster type and.
I mean, you know, in an alternate timeline, sure.
In a little zip-up case thing.
I mean, technically, that's every physical game that ever came out. Like those are collectibles now.
Yeah, I just think it's hilarious to think of like having a horde of discs for one game.
For one game, yeah, that would be the sort of like the epitome,
the novelty,
the epitome of it. Because if you think about it, did anybody do that? Like with so many years of physical media,
nobody would ever did it the way that they're trying to.
Exactly. Do it. So I think. Not that this is like correlation, but I feel there's a reason as to why that never happened.
Okay. A collector. Oh, hold on. Players would buy these packs as an afterthought or maybe in an attempt to collect them all. A collector type art card presenting the rare item in a pack could enhance the sense of collectability. If Diablo and the expansion packs proved successful, additional expansion pack series could be released. Each series would have a theme like Dark Nightmares or Holy Avengers. This marketing strategy provides many benefits. Expansion packs would add to replayability and lengthen the lifespan of the product while providing additional and continuous revenues with minimal investment. Point of purchase displays would serve as advertising, directing people towards Diablo on the shelves. The collectible nature would lead to increased sales. The unorthodox nature of Diablo and its expansion packs would be unique in the computer game world, but it's not without precedent and existing parallels. Magic the Gathering provides some of the inspiration for marketing Diablo. The expansion pack structure would serve as our model. The collectible nature also transfers. The tremendous success of Magic is a testament to the willingness of players to continue to make small additional purchases to revitalize their existing game. In the computer gaming world, Diablo and its expansion packs would have no real competition. Magic is sold at the register at electronics boutique stores. Diablo being a computer game would fit in nicely.
And here's an example. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Here's an example of exactly what I said. That like they are using a real world example of a adjacent product that would contextualize what they're wanting to do. And I also want to point out. I want to point out what Nick is talking about here is that like servers are more server hosting does cost more than CDs, but we also want to consider what is the context behind that cost, and is the investor, because again we have to be a little bit realistic in our thinking of like at the end of the day to create, produce and distribute a product, money is involved. And developers aren't made of money. Like these can be our passion projects, yes, but ultimately if we want to deliver that like ultimate experience, especially back in 19 whatever this was, they had to convince these people that hey, people buy Magic cards and that's cardboard, so we can probably sell them discs too along with their cards. And most investments are bets. So basically, when you bring this document, this pitch document, to a potential investor, you're asking them to place a bet on this idea. I bet you that if we produce these expansion discs, people will buy them the same way they buy Magic cards.
Magic cards, yeah.
And the investor can then make the decision on their part, being the one putting forth the money, on either accepting the bet or calling a bluff, or being like, no, I don't actually believe this is gonna, or like, it's the same thing as like, oh man, imagine if we all invested in Google 20 years ago. Like, yes, we'd all be millionaires, but none of us took that bet. Like that is a what's the word I'm looking for? That's a prediction I need to make and a challenge I need to confront with what I'm doing here. I'm interested. So this was 1994. I may have not been alive when this pitch was first printed, but I do wonder. Like, I'm not savvy to like how truly popular Magic was at the time compared to like how it is now. So it makes me wonder how much they could sell the idea of like, this will be adjacent to how Magic makes its money. And it really, like, the people that they're talking to being like, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about, because quote unquote Magic is like an icon. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like, it's just weird to think they were trying to like pimp out Magic for this.
Well, that's actually also a good
in
point.
a time where it may not have been as popular.
That's also a good point to go along with what you're saying here, Nick, is that like cost isn't the only thing that drove CDs out of fashion. It's never going to be a one size fits all argument for what does or doesn't make it in the market. It's just one of the many factors. Because, for example, what Cramps is saying here is that like, did Magic have that that voting power back then to be like, we can sell it just like Magic? Now Magic could have been at the
everybody
peak.
knows how successful it is, you know.
Right, and like Magic could have been like in a really good place back then for this to make sense, but at the same time there's plenty of other like factors and concepts that like they might factor in to be like, yeah, but I don't think people are going to buy it for this or this reason. And they could be completely wrong on that, or they could have hit the nail on the head. Again, we don't live in a timeline where we now have relic book collections of our Diablo 1 CDs 1 through 25. It's 100% consumerism, but yeah, that's sort of the basis of our country, though. Like, in the American market, venture capitalism is the backbone of our markets. And as a consumer, it's sort of like, it's a bit confusing to sort of like, this is sort of the conversation I was trying to avoid at the beginning of this discussion, because it does nothing for this conversation. At the end of the day, I think the Diablo games have been pretty cool, but we're just pointing out the interesting details about the Diablo 1 pitch.
Nobody was making fun of CDs. I love CDs.
Go back to the pitch. Magic was like the only example at the time that something nerdy was popular enough to be profitable. Exactly, and that's another thing too. We're talking about... Someone let this poor squid into the Discord call. No, not yet. We can't. We gotta let him fester.
You're gonna let him in, and he's just gonna explode as soon as the call connects.
Yeah, that'll be the ending to the stream.
Yeah, let me get through this pitch first.
Let's
get through the pitch, and then maybe we can let loose the gates of hell. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Some precedent can also be found in shareware and demos sold at the register at computer stores. The success of speech packs, expansions, and sequels for computer role-playing games provides further evidence that Diablo's expansion packs could be successful. They are really trying to hammer home how the potential longevity.
They are fighting hard for DLC for basically like pseudo microtransactions.
It's adorable that people were like, yeah, we're gonna nickel and dime people for this game. All right, development. Condor plans to spend 1 year in development of Diablo. Personnel will insist of the amount of the staff team for this.
Oh yeah,
is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 designer, 1 chief programmer, 2 junior programmers, 2 art directors / artists, 1 illustrator and sculptor, and 3 pixel artists / illustrators, and then 1 music and sound effects person.
And I can give you 100% the correlation there, and this goes for like so many things in the industry back then and even today. You are trying to convince them that, hey,
you can work with the bare minimum.
We can work with a skeleton crew, which means you have to pay less people, and so therefore this won't be as expensive. Like that's literally the only reason why that is the way it is.
It's just funny because in this day and age, this isn't even a skeleton crew. This is like dust.
Right,
a
exactly.
Dust crew.
You would do an equivalent to today with like maybe a few more people depending on the project, because again, like they're also pitching like a year of work when like,
that's crazy.
This could take way longer.
Yeah,
but carry on.
Diablo will be art intensive. We intend for the game to operate in Super VGA mode, 640 by 480 pixels. 3/4 perspective requires 8 directions of movement, 3 of which can sometimes be flipped. Each monster will have multiple graphic depths and will require at least 50 frames of animations. We envision approximately 16 monsters to start with. The player's character will require many more frames to cover different kinds of attacks, casting spells, opening chests, etc. Different weapons, armor, and clothing types will be reflected in character sprites. There will be 5 or 6 initial level types as well as an above-ground town. Additional art requirements include cinematics, title screens, character creation screens, and inventory screens. The programming department's initial task will be the development of a clean, intuitive interface. After this, an overall shell structure, the dynamic random level generator, or the DRLG, and a sound driver will be implemented in time to allow at least 4 months of bug testing. 4 months. But most importantly, play balance. Music will consist of an opening theme and atmospheric music to accompany gameplay. Sound effects will cover fighting, spellcasting, walking, and the like. And that's it. And then, oh yeah, and then there is a, hold on. There's a schedule they made. Let me flip this shit. So at the start, design is going to be the first 2 months. And then programming and the first level initial player character and 1 monster will be the next 2 months. And then in the next month, they're going to have a town level, and they're going to start character, monster, and item art, and they are going to start DRLG and music and sound. Music and sound goes from month 2 to month 12. Like, they are fully investing in music and sound, which fucking yes. So yeah. By month 4 and 5, town level should be done. Interface is going to be 2 through 4. And then 5 through 9 is going to be additional levels. 4 through 11 is going to be character, monster, and item art. Structure is going to be month 6 through 8. Month 8 through 12 is going to be testing and balance, as well as cinematic titles, etc. So they are going to fucking make shit just they're crunching. They are fucking crunching. 1 month for a town level is crazy.
Yep. And I don't even know what computer sciences were like back in the day. I mean, I'm sure this was the 90s, right?
Yeah, 94.
I'm sure in the 90s we still upheld the idea of like specialists. So I'm sure like there were plenty of like programmers who were confident in their ability to deliver on these things. So I don't know how difficult or easy that production schedule would have been for like a coder.
Yeah, I'm curious because like now it's all about getting permission rather than for asking for extension. When it comes to smaller projects like this, I do wonder like how much of a grace period a smaller crew like this could get when it comes to things like extensions.
Yeah.
Just because they're like, we just need another month and we'll make a whole town level. It's fine. And they're like, I guess I'm paying you like $30 to do this, so go ahead.
Yeah. Was there more to the document?
That's it.
Okay.
That's the entirety of Diablo 1.
So, again, you know, I want to point out a few things, and here's where it's important to sort of like, I think it's so important for people to be involved in the things that they enjoy the most, especially like how it's made and like the processes that go through with it, but also sort of enter that space with the sort of like readiness to be understanding of the fact that this is something that passes through a lot of hands. Because a pitch like this, like the one that you just read, can be very, very similar to what a like small developer would have to pitch to a publisher, like a big name publisher, to be like, hey, we want our little indie game to like get like more eyes on it. Like let's say you go to Devolver, right? You would have to present a similar document to be like, this is our game, this is why we think this game needs to exist, here's how we would make it. You know, you're essentially asking for a loan, except it's much more like an interview than it is like an application. And then they can decide, we like your game, we're going to put our name on it and provide you with these resources. And so that's just how games are made. Like, and that's also why I want to put an extreme emphasis on why it's important to also sort of identify and appreciate the indie space and how much it's grown over the years, because indies the way they are now would have never survived back in the day. Like, there was just no platform to distribute your game the same way you can distribute on Steam. Like, it did not exist in the way that it does today. So we should also be appreciative of the opportunities developers have now today to sort of release their like indie games in this space without being locked down by the whims of like publishers and AAA companies and etc. Granted, some developers still have to deal with that, but it's more akin of that's just how business is done. And I don't mean like, well, you know, suits and ties are gonna suck the fun out of everything. I mean, yes, but also like that's just how, in America at least, I can only speak for American sentimentality, because I mean that's where we are. That's how products are going to be created and how they're going to be sold. So now, as a fan and the consumer, I think it's important that you are both informed and sort of centered on how, where, and why you consume certain media and certain products over another, you know? It's very contentious when it comes to like hobby space though, which is why I feel like it's very appropriate to have these sorts of conversations and like these strong emotions, because you're not gonna, you know, have a passionate discussion about the milk industry. Like, maybe some people might and have some thoughts on that, but like food and clothing and like basic human needs, those are conversations that revolve around things we need in our life. And when we start to dip into the land of like hobbies, of like, oh, these are things I do for fun, like, and the money I spend on it, you know, doesn't need to go towards my hobby, but it does, because hobbies are important to keep ourselves sane and sort of like connected at a human level. but ultimately, like, I have to spend money on it, and that money could be used towards my human needs of like food, shelter, and etc. So all that to say that, like, today and age we have a lot of like doom and gloom about how franchises evolve and like are going downhill, and like the industry is in a shithole, but not too much has changed. Like, obviously the technology and the markets and the like ideologies have shifted, but things are sort of running on the same paper clips and string that it was running on way back when the industry first started.
I think I agree and disagree with you. Just because, like, I feel like when like, you know, in the time of like this pitch, right? Computer games were new as fuck. Console games were new as fuck. They were in a space of like, this is a bright and beautiful world of technology that we're coming into. So, you know, if people are willing to make something for us, I think that companies are more likely to take it in, despite how weird or like risky they are. Just because they're like, well, we haven't established a status quo in quality or in substance or in whatever, right? So they're like, cool, you're a passionate dude who knows how to make shit on a computer. You're fucking in, bro. And then it allows them to not push them around as much. Like, cool, you have a vision and you understand what you're doing. Sick. I'm gonna leave you to go do that.
I will say
it's out of our hands. Whereas nowadays, I think people who own these companies, they're smarter and they're more savvy to how the industry works, how the development works, how the developers themselves work, to where they're allowed to push people around a lot more, because they're also making way larger investments than they used to.
I will say there's a bit of like heavy lifting with that concept, in that at the end of the day, whether it be in the 90s or whether it be today, game development is art. The people who designed them, developed them, programmed them, the people involved in making the game, it's art. It's not so much like science where we can apply A plus B equals C. It's a whole process. And whereas back then, yeah, they could have operated on the notion of like, you know, you're a creative individual who knows what they're doing, and this market is a bit too new to have established anything. That is to say, in the world of capitalism, that is a huge risk to invest in art. Now,
purely for the sake of art.
Yeah, but also part of that idea of like investments is they are, like I said earlier, they are bets at the end of the day. So perhaps it could be that there were more good faith bets back in the day, because you could have been, you know,
I 100% agree that there were
an investor. Yeah, no, like there are, and there still will be, because at the end of the day, the people who control money are just people with money. Like, we can have entire philosophical debates about how money is good or evil, or it can corrupt, or it can do good, or it can do bad. But at the end of the day, an investor is putting their own values and their own sort of perspectives into this risk that they're taking. Yeah. And in the world of marketing, these passionate artists, these developers, have to put together a document to make logical sense out of why somebody should give them money to pour into their art. Especially during a time when they weren't absolutely sure if they could make this turn-based, like, multi-disc, like, huge vision that they had. And I mean, like, look at how the game turned out. And that's not to say that, like, oh, this was a bad idea, you didn't make the game you set out to do. No, they still made a good game because they are artists. Like, art is not it's not mathematical. You can eventually make something great out of something poor if you like work hard enough to sort of iterate and make it better and make changes to it. But that is in the world of art and hypotheticals. When you're talking about like, when the crazy part is that when we start talking about the money aspect of it, of the investor aspect of it, that too is also not fully mathematical and like set in stone. Sure, you can provide an entire data scale of like, here's why I think people will spend this amount of money on this thing within the next 6 months, and you can provide as many numbers as you want. But if people feel a certain way that year and decide, I don't like video games anymore, and then the video game market just fucking dies and nobody like buys video games, your data goes out the window, because at the end of the day, as consumers, we have autonomy over how we spend our money and what we spend our money on.
I feel like, if anything, that was more of a risk back in the day than it is now, because it is such a constant market that is probably never going to go away.
Well,
versus how risky it is back then, when like it wasn't as accessible or as large of a market as it is now.
Well, the wonderful thing about that is the reason why we feel that way is because it's true. The video game market now is so large, astronomically large, that it even like puts Hollywood to shame. That yeah, we can make that educated guess of like, oh, games aren't going anywhere.
Right.
But why are we sort of in this state of like, but why do games suck then, right? Like, why are these businesses making these shitty decisions and losing all this money and laying off all these people, etc., etc. And there's just many factors to that. A very like simple one that isn't as intrusive to make is that they're just making bad bets. They're taking risks that they feel are safe when they make them, but then after it pans out, it's like, oh, that didn't work out. Well,
I don't know about that, because I feel like in our environment now, with how games are failing, a lot of it has to do with, it doesn't have to do with the people pitching the product, it's the people taking the product and then overcorrecting that product because they're so terrified of losing money.
Well, yes,
you know?
that is...
The stakes are so much higher than they used to be as far as investing in a video game, that it's difficult for investors to, you know, be like, cool, I'm gonna let you run this show because I trust you as an artist and as a developer. It's more like, no, fuck, I'm gonna guarantee I'm making my fucking money back. So we're going to take everything we know that works and shove it into this game, whether it's good for it or not.
Absolutely, and that is definitely a factor there, because again, you can make a bet and then you can engage in risk aversion by implementing those strategies of like, okay, but like, let's make a safe bet though. Like, I'm going to invest into this, but I'm going to put some safety nets into place here. Hold on, I want to read what Deef had to say. Money is simply a tool, I feel. Squid says, before nerdy shit was hip and normal. Thoughts on Hideo Kojima agreeing with the statement that video games are not art?
He's trolling. He's trolling.
Well, the bet now is this just barely good enough to sell enough? And there is reason to believe that that is exactly what's going through their mind. I'm not trying to say that like some of these venture capitalists aren't approaching games with the mentality, oh wait, hold on, we have ads. Let's fight the Skeleton King in the meantime.
You will never defeat me.
You will never defeat me. Such an auspicious claim to make.
Moment you surrendered to madness.
Oh, what a line. You were defeated the moment you surrendered to madness. That's such like a 2013 line.
Absolutely.
That's why I hate Diablo 3.
What?
No, well, pause. I know that was the original argument, but now we're having a completely philosophical one, and I prefer this one. I'm sorry, I'm the streamer, I make the rules.
I just like like I am a self-proclaimed art medium hipster boomer, right? We all know this. That is my entire character.
That's your MO.
That is my MO. And the reasons that like I am the way that I am is because there is a lack of appreciation of vision and art in multitudes of industries. And so when it comes to like seeing something like this Diablo pitch where you can see the vision is super strong and the dreams are huge and they're working with like 6 fucking people on this who are all, you know, they all are in on it. It takes me back to a time when like art was so much more appreciated than it is now. And people can say like, no, art is bigger than it's ever been. There's more artists than there's ever been. But I think corporations and investors don't feel that way.
We got 10
Kill
seconds
Leoric. Kill Leoric.
We got 10 seconds on you, so. Because I also want to go back to what I was initially saying. But that also ties into it too. God, Leoric is a fucking bitch, dude. Fucking
You gotta punch
die.
him. Just punch him.
Punch him. Oh, he's frozen. It is sort of ironic that like Nick brings up the point of like I'm just sort of like mashing through this game, and the reason I'm not enraptured is more than a few reasons. It's not just the button mashing. In fact, I think the button mashing is what makes this such a great streaming game.
Low brain capacity.
Low brain capacity, but also like Leoric here is like the first time I had to actually. Now I'm playing on normal, so let's get that out of the way. I'm not playing on the hardest difficulty, but that's sort of like what my monkey brain wants out of this dopamine-filled experience, is beat up the bad guys and then just like grab all the loot. But anyway, so we were saying. Yeah, it's just barely good enough to sell. Yeah, so what I was getting at is that like, so all of these statements we're making on like how we feel about how investors and higher ups and CEOs are treating the AAA industry is 100% valid and true. There are definitely people who can make ill-advised or sometimes even ill-intentioned decisions on where the money gets spent and how it gets spent. You were saying with art that like back in the day, you know, when it was a bit more rock and roll to just sort of do things that you like, create things that you thought were interesting, and then people would buy into that.
I will take you to Kane. He will help.
Now this is a personal opinion just based off like what I perceive in sort of like learning about just American history in general, is I don't think venture capitalists back then were any different than venture capitalists of today. Now I'm not saying they're the exact same person, because obviously our culture and our mannerisms change and how we see the world changes. I mean, the world market is a crazy place now. But back then they still have the same aim of like, if I give you if I give you $20, I'm expecting $40 back. Like that's this exchange. Like I can believe in the art you're creating. I can be like, that's cool, that's dope, but that's, you know, that's an
Is it going to
investment.
make me money at the end of the day?
And you can operate off of that notion, but you can also operate off of the notion of like, I'm investing into this because I think it's a cool thing, even if I lose money out on it. All right, sure, if I lose my money, then I'll figure that part out, but this is me investing into this idea. Now, do people invest into things to lose money on purpose? No, they invest into things because they either think it's going to make them their money back, or they think it's a good enough idea that they like the idea and they're going to get their money back. Sometimes they might even just be looking to break even because they think the idea is cool. Like breaking even on an idea that you thought is cool versus breaking even on something you were kind of like on the fence about, and now like there was the potential that you could have lost all that money. I mean, that's best case scenario, is that you didn't lose any money, but you know, this is the sort of mentality you have to like put your step into their shoes to sort of understand why do investors exist in the first place.
Right. I didn't realize, I just found this interesting. There is no budgeting in this pitch.
There was a little, well, not budgeting.
There was just the disc price they were thinking of doing, and that is the only mention of money at all.
There's the concept of we only need this many people to work on the game, and it'll only take this amount of time. So in a way, that's sort of like having the budgeting conversation without having the budgeting conversation, because ultimately that's on the publisher to figure out, because they're the publisher. They're the one sort of pouring money into this endeavor. So that's one potential argument for that.
Yeah, I just think it's funny because I feel like with typical, you know, product pitch documents, you want to include like, you know, a projected budget, but there's just not an eep, not a single mention of how much money they're going to need to make this thing.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays I think we're a bit more, and that sort of goes to show how far we've come now that
it's so fast and loose.
Now that we know how game development works, because
what kind of scale needs to be done.
So like now we can actually apply metrics of like, well, we kind of know it could cost this much because we've made these games in the past, whereas before they didn't really have those comparisons. So a lot of it was just like, we hope to only spend this amount of money, and we're gonna leave it at that. The details
I wish I could be a fly on the wall when they were in that fucking conference room. You know what I mean? I just think it would have been really fascinating to watch them negotiate this project.
Absolutely. I mean, like for any what the hell is this? A gift for Thuggish? Who the hell is Thuggish?
I have no clue.
Well, you're getting a gift. You're welcome. But what was the other thing I wanted to add on top of that? Let me look at the chat real quick. Before nerdy shit was hip and normal. And that's okay, yeah, I don't know if I touched on that, but that's also a very important note here, is that we're looking back at a time where the nerd market was sort of like a niche market, where it's like, oh, we know the people who are going to buy this. It's the computer nerds and the people who play D&D and like, you know, fantasize about being like these strong like medieval ass characters that they read in their fantasy books. Like the market exists for sure. It's not that there aren't enough nerds to warrant, you know, selling a nerdy product. It's more so just like this is how we see the market now, which is why you can probably make the connection, the distinction that in today's market, because nerd shit is so popular, most investors can be like, ah, yes, Fortnite, this will make me a shit ton of money. Because like that's the market we live in today. So
everybody is the market now.
Right. So like it's a much bigger market. You can define it better because we have actual like business definitions of like what kind of game this is and what kind of game that is, and like, oh, we don't think, you know, this will do well because currently everybody is spending their time on this. I mean, consider this a very simple thought experiment of like, if you wanted to sell a game today, any game, no matter what genre, doesn't matter, and you wanted to capture just as many people as you could, how are you going to possibly convince the people who play just Fortnite, just like Minecraft, just Valorant, games that like don't ask you to fork over any money up front. You can play as much as you want. You have the option to spend money, but it's not mandatory. And most of your free time, which we can all admit is a very quantifiable limitation we all have, right? How are you going to get those people who spend 20 hours a week playing those games to then come play your game and then attach a price tag on the front and be like, pay me 60, 70, even $30 for this? And different consumers are going to come to different conclusions of whether or not those 30, 40, 70 dollars are worth it or not to stop playing Fortnite or stop playing whatever game is their game, because we all have our game in today's market. There's so many games to choose from. I could be like, I choose to not engage with anything ever again. I'm going to work my 40 hours a week, come home and play fucking, I don't know, Civilization 6 until the cows come home. Like, I can make that decision because there's just so many options for me. And yet most of them spend $500 over just a few years on free-to-play games. And that is the sort of market that they are looking at, is that people will find reasons to spend money on the things they want to spend money on. Now, whether I have a moral opinion on whether I think you should spend those $500, at the end of the day, however many arguments I come up with was like, that's not a moral decision. Well, fuck me, it's not my money. Like, they're not spending my $500, they're spending their $500. Like, sure, we can like poke and prod and be like, you're such a fucking idiot for buying into all this useless crap. I mean, like, look at half the shit that exists in our homes. It's all useless crap, but it fills us with purpose and with the sort of like fulfillment.
Do you
of
want to open the floodgates?
Yeah, bring him in, because I'm in town just fucking doing nothing.
All right, the floodgates are open.
Come
You're
on
not?
in here, Squid. No, he's not gonna come in.
Why not? There's only 10 minutes left in stream. It'll be a massacre.
We might be here all night. We might
Come
be here
on.
all night.
Come on.
There's a chance.
Do it for me.
I can't believe this shit costs 50,000 gold. What the fuck?
No. He says no.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I can still make my argument this way, and I can still represent, hopefully, I can represent Nick in a positive light here. Because what you're saying is, there is a degree of predatory nature there. Yes, absolutely. 100%. There are psychologists who work on the notion of how can I make you spend money on this thing, but that like then begins to proliferate in all marketing, like the way packaging is made, the way commercials are shot, the way that like you get ads like while you're just looking at your phone and you weren't even like looking at an ad 3 seconds ago and wonder, wait, how did I get here? Like there's a floodgate of reasons as to why, yes, it is predatory, but it's also built into our sort of capitalist society. And this isn't to sort of end cap on a notion of like, and this is why capitalism is bad and we should revolt against our government. No, it's like we all partake because this is the country we live in and we have our ways. And luckily, a part of our ways is to have freedom in our ways. And what you're portraying here of like making it easy so that they don't realize they're being taken advantage of is that is not their fault. That is not the consumer's fault for being fooled, being tricked. And it's a little bit of their fault if they're doing it in a very heavy-fisted way of like, oh no, yeah, we're taking complete advantage and sweeping the rug from under their feet. Sure, that is morally incorrect, but they also need your money. Like, they not only want it, they need it, because that's the whole point as to why they exist in the first place. That's just how capitalism works. If nobody spends their money, we're screwed, like, just as a society. So I think what is a more healthier way of approaching the design and the mentality and just like all the little bits and pieces, because again, we're zooming out very, like we're taking a very like zoomed out approach at this, and when you look at the big picture of how everything works and how all of this falls into pieces, it will send you into a tizzy, because nobody should have to process all of that information and all of those moving pieces. It's why companies are made up of thousands of people and not just 5 to make all this shit work. You'd go crazy if you had to come up with every single piece of the puzzle to then make it so that when you go to GameStop you can buy a $700 PS5 or whatever. That's not your prerogative. You shouldn't have to deal with that. Hold on, I lost the sauce there.
All we know is that Diablo 3 is capitalism incarnate.
Yeah, it's crazy because this conversation was supposed to be as about why Diablo 3 doesn't suck that much ass versus Diablo 1 and 2. Because after playing this, let me tell you, I would have played the shit out of this back in the day, but I think I was too deep into like probably League of Legends or MMOs at that point.
Or WoW.
Yeah, to give this the time of day. So again, I was probably the target audience, but it missed me. So, you know.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so let's get this all like wrapped up here. So, how do you feel by somebody who is like a non-biased absorber of these games so far, right? How would you say that Diablo 3 okay, let me put it this way. Say this was a game with 0 title. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you played through Diablo 1 and 2, and then I was like, hey, try this game. Do you think you would be like, yes, a Diablo game?
So wait, the question is, if Diablo 3 didn't have a name attached to it, and
would you think it was a Diablo game?
Would I think it was a Diablo game? Would I have played Diablo 1 and 2 or known what they are?
In this context, yes.
I played Torchlight 2. And that's exactly how that question would be answered. Torchlight 2 is Diablo 3, or at least it's Diablo enough that it matches the genre. And I played a shit ton of that game, and it was just as like simplistic as this game is. And I was like, this is pretty fun. I eventually stopped playing it because I really don't enjoy these games as much as like I do. I don't hate them. I think this is a wonderful genre. But I've played Diablo 3 before playing Diablo 3. So let's put it that way.
Okay.
Gaming Driver, I literally have a Discord notification. We're on a Discord channel that shows I'm live. I have the streaming label. How do you show up at 9:58 p.m. at night and not realize I'm streaming? I also announced on Monday at the beginning of Hell Week that I was doing Hell Week. All right, and now we're being raided by Yepatine. Thank you for the raid. Hey buddy, how you doing? How do you not like, okay, I'm chastising you. It's not your fault.
Holy fuck. Holy fuck.
I thought I was good enough of a friend to get a DM.
You need to hand out exclusive newsletters to people. That is what is expected of you. Is that you need to start making a newsletter.
What I need is an email list. I need people to subscribe to my email list so you get an email when I go live, which by the way you can do on Twitch by turning on the notifications. So there you go.
It's immediately angry at this man. Cramps is not off the hook either. Why? I'm not playing Diablo 3.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you shit. I'm just
me.
reading this document.
Yeah.
And being a boomer about how games were cooler in the 90s.
Cramp's job was just to read. All right. So, okay. Back to my point of I've played Diablo 3 before playing Diablo 3. And
yeah.
I think the reason why that matters is because they made Diablo 3 with a very clear image in mind they executed on it. You know, some fans were unhappy by it. Some new people maybe picked it up and were like, wow, I like this. And other developers copied it. Like, there are games just like this one that came out around this same time that I played and was like, oh, look, a Diablo game. I've never played one before. And I got the experience that I anticipated from a Diablo game. Now, after playing Diablo 1 and 2, I realize how different those games are, but I also realize now that I'm older and more read up on how games are made, I understand why those games exist and how they exist according to their time period. So at the end of the day, all the Diablo games are correct. I think, like, to put it in a weird way, canonically, all 4 games are correct in their timeline. They're both ahead of their time and also not sort of like overstaying their welcome.
You are insane for that, but you're valid. They are, I will say that they all in their own respect are very much like an encapsulation of the time.
Now, I'm excited to play 4 now. So tomorrow will be Gaming Driver. Tomorrow.
Hey, yeah, Gabe. Tomorrow.
Right. Chat. Do you hear
6 p.m. PST.
I need to have
10 p.m. PST.
This is such like this is such an overdone joke, but I need to put Subway Surfers on my phone.
You need to get a gif of a guy jingling keys.
Yeah. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. PST will be the finale of our Hell Week, October 31st, Halloween, where we play Diablo 4. And we close the book on this saga of trying out all the different Diablos during Halloween and giving my opinion on them, because for some reason that matters. Yeah, what a hell week it was. Today was definitely a very hellish week.
There is no triumph without risk.
I mean, hey, you've got the VOD, right? If you can't make it. I know it's Halloween. I don't see how, anyway, that doesn't matter. I don't care about Diablo. All I care is you wearing the Sonic suit. Look, I committed, all right? Sadly, the head chokes me out and it's hot, and so for medical reasons I cannot wear the head right now.
For metalcore reasons?
Anyway,
I'm just saying.
But yeah, so a closing remark. All right, in this version of the game, let me be 1000% transparent with you, chat. I'm playing this on Switch. This is Diablo 3 on Switch. On the Switch version specifically, you can transmogrify your gear to look like Ganondorf, the Prince of Evil, or whatever his official God-given name is. But in order to do that, I have to pay 50,000 gold in-game, for each individual piece of this Ganondorf. So that's like the legs, the boots, the chest, and the head, and I think the gloves as well. Yeah, the gloves as well, just to look like Ganondorf in this game. 50,000 gold. Now, you could say, well, that's very easy to farm because I know the ways to farm the gold. But as somebody who does not want to keep playing this game because I have to play a new Diablo tomorrow, and I'm probably not going to come back to this game because, as I've stated, I like these games. I don't love these games. If I were a different person than I am today, I would swipe my credit card right now to get that gold, or just to give me the skin. Like, that's just how things are. And we can have a moral discussion about that, but at the end of the day, if I were a different person, I would swipe my credit card right now just so I can look like Ganondorf in this very specific. Look, I have Mercy Wings from Overwatch. You know, that game everybody doesn't think about anymore, but pretends that. Anyway, that's a different conversation. It's just a state of the times. Is all it is. Sequel's in here. My boy, I've got a question. Hold on. I'm gonna be watching Shibuya Kano play Metaphor. All right, whatever. Stop plugging other people in my stream. Fuck Blizzard Games. Embrace Sonic the Metal Hedgehog. I've played Sonic on my channel. The real ones know. If you know, you know. He didn't even unlock Ganondorf. That's a lot of money. All right. And see, Squid, you can come in and be like, I can get you to level 70 in literally 5 minutes, and then you'll make 50,000 gold every 3. But that, you know that, though. You have the secrets. You have the recipe, the sauce, you know? And me, somebody who comes in and is like, I'm going to play this game. Like, that's not an option for me. So I either ask somebody like you to boost me, or I just give up on the whole notion. but again, that's it is an option. I'm not denying it's an option. But I'm just saying, if I were a different person, I'd be in the eShop right now purchasing whatever currency just to look like Ganondorf. When are we doing more Backrooms Escape together? Eventually. That's my answer. Eventually.
Start stream late and end stream late.
Well, okay, unfortunately I started the stream late because I was exercising my democratic privilege. You guys can't see it, but I have an I voted sticker on my Sonic suit. Sonic voted.
Did you go vote in your Sonic suit?
No. We're in
You really should have.
We're in a mail-in state. Why would I do that?
You should have went in to like put in your fucking ballot.
No.
Come on, dude.
All right. Sonic says
That's
exercise
no
your
good.
democratic power. Let them scam him. He went to the box in his suit. Anyway, I am the problem. I'm the enabler. Okay. There is... Yes, and now that democratic privilege is going to require you to exercise your late night streaming. Okay, guys. Chill. All right. do we... I know you guys want the stream to go on longer, but I do hold a day job, okay? There's the revenue. We're not going to have that discussion right now. But
this guy has to wake up early to make Marios.
I have to go to bed so I can wake up early so I can spend 8 hours somewhere and then come here
making
and do
Mario.
This. No.
Alex is catching on to the chat vibes.
Here we go.
Immaculately.
All right. Now, look, we're gonna
precious part of our community.
I'm gonna read the other parts of chat for now.
Okay. Yeah. Ignore it.
All right. I think we should end the stream. I think there's nothing more I can say.
I
here.
don't. Keep going.
Wait. I have to go to bed. But like, I can't stay up. It just doesn't work with...
Kill it and my pain.
Look, point is, Diablo 3 is fine. Diablo 2 is fine. Diablo 1 is fine. In fact, all right, you guys want my hot take, actually? You guys want a hot take?
Oh my god. You're about to piss somebody off. I can feel it.
People are going to start throwing bricks. I promise you, okay?
Say it and then end stream.
No. Because it's a hot take, but it's not like it's not as hot as I'm making it out to be. But Diablo 1, I think so far by the standards that I've set out for this series, is by far the one that delivers my expectations the most.
That makes me sick.
No,
I'm ill.
Diablo 1 is the Diablo.
Just look at the fucking flowers, Lenny. Pet the rabbits, dude. Just pet the rabbits. It'll be okay.
Also, I don't think you'd be able to jump in here, Squid, because I'm on Switch and you are not. I don't think there's crossplay here.
No, I think he's saying invite him to the call.
No, because this was during the conversation of like getting me the money. Alex, I didn't even get to the succubi.
The best Blizzard game is Overwatch. Fight me.
That is a completely different conversation, and I'm not gonna say.
I do not want to be in the call.
I'm not gonna say one way or the other whether that statement is true. So we're gonna save that for a future. Maybe
that's coming from a guy who thinks Rainbow Six is good. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but that's okay. Here's the thing. There's reason to believe that statements like that are hilarious. I will not deny that. I will forever chastise Chris for. All right, now chat's getting out of control.
McGee.
You guys are abusing
Bad
text-to-speech. God, there's just so much. The thing is, the stream would. We've already streamed long enough. It would go on for another 4 hours if we started talking about Overwatch. So we're not going to talk about Overwatch, all right? It is Hell Week. We're playing Diablo 1, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, and tomorrow Diablo 4, okay? This is a Diablo week. We're not talking about any other Blizzard games. It's just Diablo, all right? Can we agree on that?
Am I, as a mod, able to turn off TTS?
Technically, yes. But I don't know how. I don't know if there's a command. I can definitely make it more expensive because you guys don't appreciate the channel points I bake for you, all right? Each one of these channel points were baked by me. All right, I cooked them up, I mixed them in a bowl, and I put them in your computer, all right? And you're just throwing them away like nothing. I'm about to make TTS more expensive. No, you know what? I'm going to start charging actual money. You guys want to get into the thick of it with capitalism? I'm going to charge US dollars.
Oh my god, it's Mr. Blizzard himself.
Then we can have a conversation. How about that? Then we can have an actual conversation.
Why are there so many requests in queue? Clear your request.
What? Hold on. I don't know if that's legally possible.
If you transactional man wants Siri to be your TTS boy, why Siri?
Yeah, why Siri of all voices? This is pretty much close enough. Where are my requests? Review requests.
I rejected them because they were old and probably from it being broken.
Well, no, I think what this is like well, most of these are sound alerts. So yeah. I'm increasing the price of TTS. Fight me. Anyway.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You need to get a better TTS, brother. No, it's fine at that price. 10 minutes, you can't end stream now. To be honest, I don't like
if
McDribbles.
you're 15 minutes late, we can go home.
Why is the bagel bad? Because it's not a bagel. Maybe that's your first issue.
What?
Jojo's saying, why are McDribbles bad? Like, why is the bagel bad in a McDribble?
Bad?
Well, first of all, it's not a bagel, so I think maybe sort that part out.
Yeah, what?
McDribble sounds like a parody McDonald's product made of snot. Alright, well, if that's how you want to see it. In my personal opinion, Blizzard games go like... Alright, now we got the hot takes in chat. We got Warcraft, then StarCraft, then Overwatch, then Heroes of the Storm, then Diablo. Alright.
Diablo last is nuts. Heroes of the Storm before Diablo?
That shit ain't a bagel. I'm about to blow your fucking mind, dude. Alright. Do you want to know what a McDribble is? Alright, and probably why you find it so disgusting? Alright, you might want...
It's culinary genius is what it is.
You might want to like reach for some what do they call it? Prilosec? I don't know. It is a breakfast sandwich as foreseen in the advertising. It can be bacon or sausage. It will come with a folded egg, some cheese, you know, and that we're talking about that McDonald's yellow cheese. And instead of buns, we take 2 pancakes and use those as the buns. But they are not just regular pancakes. No, no, no. These pancakes are injected with syrup, with nectar of maple. All right? Therefore creating the McDribble.
Do they still make them? Yes, they do.
Yes, to this day, McDribbles are everywhere.
And it slaps.
You literally thought McDribbles weren't real?
What? Have y'all not had fucking McGriddles?
Well, okay, I do know Goob doesn't enjoy most fast food.
Oh, that's true.
So maybe that has something to do with it. Yeah, he doesn't eat fast food.
Okay. You're off the hook.
Yes, guys, they still serve breakfast at McDoodles. You can think what you want about how disgusting it is. You're probably right. But the McDribble is a real product. They still sell it, and I sometimes...
It is the one delicious product at McDonald's. Maybe not maybe not delicious.
All right,
but
Alex,
it is
call me a
definitely
furry
at the
again
higher.
And see what happens.
You're gonna.
I'm gonna time this boy
fighting?
out. That was a loose threat. I don't want to time you out. Guys, we've been streaming for 3.5 hours. Okay, it's 10:16. It's past my bedtime. 10K is way too much for TT. Well, okay. Whose fault
Then
is that?
don't abuse it. Don't abuse it.
When people,
If one of you spoils it, it spoils it for everybody.
That's what happens. All right. You don't like capitalism? Welcome to communism. I'm kidding. That's such a crazy statement to make.
That is crazy, especially after you just voted. Just ban Yepes.
Just ban Yepes. Nah, Yepes is fine. I know that, see, the thing is, I think a big problem we have just connecting on a human level is that I think we don't parse our filters properly as far as what we should take at face value and what we should put a magnifying glass over. And for knowing Yepes for as long as I have, there are arguments for both because, me and Yepes have a rapport. We are friends. And, I know how to connect with my friends on a very personal level. So therefore, I know what to take at face value and what to put a magnifying glass over. And sometimes I put a magnifying glass over that shit because, well, it's fun. Kind of like a certain product by a certain group of people on a coast. I don't know. Could it be this coast? I don't know. Who knows what I could be talking about?
What are you talking about?
I don't know, Paisley. I don't know.
You need to go to bed.
No, because Yep has just gifted a sub. Let's hear it out for
Holy
Yepes.
shit. You talk all this hype about ending stream. And look at you now. You're the villain you swore you never would become.
Because I was waiting for a gifty to drop in. That's that's the trick, This is why I've been in this business for as long as I have, all right? And why I still hold a day job. Because you prolong stream long enough to when Toad Hat. You don't want Boo Hat? That's typically the agreement. These are unspoken rules, by the way. Secret menu stuff.
Predatory. John Blizzard himself.
Oh shit, I grabbed the Toad Hat. Alright. Anyway, tomorrow is Diablo 4. We're gonna play it on PC, so don't worry. Okay. You're gonna hate me, but I kind of wish, or not wish, I'm kind of thinking about playing it on controller. Because after playing 3 on a controller, I'm like, oh, this should make sense though.
And I will say it only is making sense because you're playing a melee build.
I'm playing the what build?
You're playing a melee based build.
Okay, so maybe I'll play a spellcaster for 4. I'm not gonna go back and make a spellcaster on 3. Maybe later if I want to do like a full analysis. I don't know. We'll see. But I find that interesting. Because playing 1 and 2 and playing like ranged. Now I understand spells are different, but I also have a completely different mentality about spells in this game series. But I might make a magic user for Diablo 4, and if there's controller support, I might test it out just to see exactly what it is you guys are talking about. No, I regret
Although I will say I'm not informed on how controller works for certain builds. Somebody was telling me that there are certain builds that when you play it on controller, it feels like you're playing like a twin stick shooter a little bit, depending on what you're doing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. It's because you
but
can't
it
target
makes it
enemies.
harder. Yeah, it makes it harder when you're trying to do something at a distance, but you don't have the ability to like actually move and select to where you want that spell to go.
Man, you know, the conversation changes so drastically when you use a bow and arrow. Because in 1 and 2, my biggest gripe, which I fixed by using shift to stand in place.
Right.
But my biggest gripe was clicking all over the screen and having my character like flip a coin between, do I move or do I shoot? Do I move or do I shoot?
There is like a way you kind of get the hang of like knowing when to press shift and when not to, and that just comes with playing it a lot, you know?
You don't know shit about arrows in 1 and 2. All right. Now you're attacking my character and I don't appreciate that.
Do you want to know something crazy about 1?
What?
If you are playing multiplayer, there is friendly fire.
Oh.
So if you have somebody in front of you that is on the same line of tiles, you can fucking murder them with your arrows. I think the most damage that Nicholas sustained was from me accidentally fucking shooting him.
That's funny. That's actually pretty funny.
It's awful.
Yeah. All right. I think 3 hours and 45 is long enough. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me once again. We are currently celebrating a special stream schedule called Hell Week, where I play Diablo 1, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, and Diablo 4. All the way up to Halloween, which is tomorrow, by the way, if you didn't know that for some reason. Tomorrow we're playing Diablo 4 on Halloween. We're going to finish Hell Week. We're going to play all the games, and I'm going to have more hot takes about it because, my God, are we all messed up in the head. But yeah. No, this was a fun experience. So far, I can't say abhorrently bad shit about this game series. So I think that's a positive to sort of end the stream on. Sad to see the end of okay. All right. Alex, we're gonna
That's my fucking guy.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks for watching on Twitch and YouTube. The VODs get uploaded instantaneously to YouTube. So if you want possibly a higher quality VOD, my YouTube is Metalcore Wolf. But here on Twitch, I normally stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Today's a special exception to that rule. From 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. PST. We play all sorts of games on this channel, and we have all sorts of fun. As you can tell, everybody here is off the rocker. I've been Metalcore Wolf. Tonight, I've been joined by Style Cramps.
Hey.
So yeah, we'll see you guys next stream. Bye-bye.